what are those things that coaches do that are some of those kind of the secret sauce or ingredients that really are transformative?
Well, it's taken thousands and thousands and thousands of surveys across the world between, surveying leaders, surveying frontline employees, and everything in between. We've measured now about 150,000 coaching interactions in the workplace between employees and their bosses. And what we've learned is, while there's many, many things that, and keep in mind, when we are talking about this, we're talking about growth, not performance. I can separate those things. We're talking about the leaders that create the most growth. Usually performance follows if you've got a lot of growth going on. So when we studied that growth, there were 4 primary things that the great ones were doing, in no specific order. They were doing career development plans with the people on their teams. They would do them manually, but do updates quarterly. They did team meetings, consistent team meetings. Now what's interesting is everybody thinks, they did those, the highest growth people do those weekly, right? No, actually, they only do them monthly, but they do them differently than everybody else. They do one-on-one meetings uber consistently every other week. Now that's evolving with work from home, but they did one-on-one meetings every other week, and they gave objective written feedback at least quarterly. Now, when I say those things, Brandon, my guess is you're not sitting there. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at you right now. You're not going, gee, Bill, that's rocket science. Wow, never heard of any of those things. But here's what's unique about it. While that's what the greatest leaders, coaches are doing consistently, still nobody, and most all of them do those things, by the way, to some degree. Nobody knows how often. Nobody measures to know if they're doing them well. If people say, well, yeah, my leaders spend a lot of time with their people. Okay, but did they spend 80% of the time with the bottom 20% of their people, or vice versa? How much time should they allocate between your top performers, middle performers, and bottom performers? Nobody knows. So it's one thing to hear those activities and realize that, yeah, those make sense. But that it's another thing to say, but I know how well and how often they're being done.